So when I was young, I discovered electrons because as a
You
scientist,
discovered it, Andy?
yeah. I'm the guy that discovered electrons, right?
Okay.
And everybody finally learned. Do you have electrons? Are exactly the way the energy it gets transferred, how our energy travels. That's why it's called an electron. And if you don't have electron energy, or you don't have electrons, you're dead. You cannot. Your organs cannot function. Your brain cannot function, and that's one of the reasons why when you get sick, you don't longer have the ability to accept electrons because everything breaks down into an electron. This is the tiniest little thing that doing its thing there, and your body, because it's water. That's one thing I'm going to talk about when we talk about structured water. Is that the reason why structured water works because electrons are structured.
Mm-hmm.
So you have this
positive and negative, and we've had Gerald Pollock, the author of The Fourth Phase of Water, on our channel several times. And he talks about having a tube, of water molecules where the positive and negative, you have I think it's the positive, or no, is it negative inside, positive outside, where the actual, atoms and electrons, etc., are moved out, and it forms a tube like a straw. It is actually creating, a flow like a river creates a flow. It's Andy, that's going to be a really wild topic, man.
That's why it's called structured. And see, so the problem with human beings, they create a chaos in the water.
Yeah.
And the water is not structured. Anytime you have water flowing, you have 90-degree angles, no longer structured. Show me in nature we have a 90-degree where water goes up to. Doesn't happen. Because especially when you have all these weird angles, pipes, when you go through pipes, that unstructures the water. Chemicals, when you put chemicals in, will interfere with that structurability. So when in nature, when you have lightning, what do you think lightning does to water? What do you think?
Energizes it.
Yeah, when the river flows, you see the swirling, right?
Yeah.
So I was reading about this German scientist, and he was so in Germany they were doing logging, right? Where they cut the tree and they put it on a river, but the logs would sink down, and it made it very different. He realized that in structured water, the logs would float, and the only reason why he came upon the structured water is because the river would flow, and then the river would do this swirling thing and move on, and so he deliberately did that on purpose to swirl it, and he found that the logs just float on down, right? And cool. in nature, Mother Nature is constantly structuring water. We are. So what do you think happens when you have plastic, microplastic, radiation, all kinds of toxic in the water? Unstructured. It's not structured anymore. What is it? People realize minerals are the most important vitamin for your health.
People don't realize that minerals are more important than vitamins for your health, both being essential. Make sure you're getting a whole food source. And that's one of the things we want you to grow your own food. And so you can get everything in your food into your body so you can be healthy. And that's why I'm going to be starting a new series where I'm going to be growing an indoor garden, different sizes, to see how much food can be produced in a small area indoors. Because I live in Canada. We can't grow year round like, you can in California. And
I love growing indoors. You just have to key in to imitating Mother Nature. That's why it's so important to learn sources of trace minerals. Because in nature, you normally will get the trace minerals, but they're being inhibited by the things we do. Mother Nature, if all the human beings was to leave the planet, Mother Nature would remineralize itself.
Oh, yeah.
You see, Mother Nature would bring back and the way it does it, an ice age is one natural way of remineralizing. The glaciers will grind all the rocks down to a fine powder, right? Volcanoes, the heat will literally break down all the minerals and spew out. Like remember Mount St. Helena when it did. We look at how everything's growing now over there. So Mother Nature will get rid of get rid of human beings and Mother Nature, it may take thousands of years to go back to normal functioning, but it will. We just, we have a knack for causing chaos. We have a knack. We're really very good at causing problems, generating toxics. We have, there's the age of mankind. I just thought of this. Silly could look it up. Silly, look up, tell Google, whoever you talk to, what is the age of mankind called? And there's a name for it, and that means plastic.
It means plastic.
Yeah, that's what it means, plastic. There's nowhere on the planet you can go to that you will not find microplastic. You will not find plastic. 10,000, I read an article that guy said 10,000 years from now, somebody will be digging somewhere, and he will find a layer of plastic that it goes around the world. Literally, you can't go anywhere. The deepest ocean, the highest mountain, plastic. And that
microplastics, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the name of the age of mankind, plastic. And there's a weird name for it. It basically translates to plastic. And that's sad. That's sad that we're doing that.